Hey everybody, welcome to Comic Experience Sci-Fi. I'm Nick.
You're Nick, the co-host.
I used to be. We want to thank our sponsors at Northwestern Tech. You know how to use one of these?
Yeah, you're talking to it.
There's a little more to it than that. You got a lot to learn. We're gonna go to our first segment.
Yes, we'll go to Mark with the new movies, shall we?
Welcome, my apprentices. The time has come for the Empire to crush the rebellion with my new battle station.
Too much nookie with a Wookiee. Anyways, Mark here to tell you what's coming out at the movies at a planetary system near you. Well, since this is Star Wars week, it's only a given that we mention Rogue One, a Star Wars story. For those of you non-nerds not in the know, this is the story of the Rebel squad who steal the first Death Star plans, then deliver them to Princess Leia. The film stars Felicity Jones and is guaranteed to be a force at the box office.
You're all rebels, aren't you?
Save the rebellion! Save the dream!
If Rogue One is sold out, then go see Collateral Beauty with the all-star cast of Will Smith, Helen Mirren, Edward Norton, Keira Knightley, and Kate Winslet. Along with foreseeing the Rebels' petty victory,
The dark side can show me what's coming out in 2017.
up first is The Fate of the Furious, which accelerates into theaters this April.
I don't know if the old Dom is in there. I don't give a damn. I'm taking you down. Toretto, let's play.
Coming out next June is the first installment in the new line of Universal horror action movies, The Mummy, starring Tom Cruise. This time, an ancient princess causes havoc beyond the grave after being awakened from her crypt.
She will claim what she has been denied.
Coming out in July, it's the return of our favorite web-slinger in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. With the aid of Tony Stark, Spidey must come to terms with his new powers and responsibilities in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
This is my chance to prove myself.
Peter, what is going on with you?
I'm really sorry. I'm so busy. I'm slammed.
Don't mess with me, because I will kill you and everybody you love.
Thanks for accompanying me on this journey through the galaxy at the movies.
And we'll see you on the dark side. Unlimited power!
Thanks, Mark. You got a name?
Jill,
Jill. You want to introduce the next segment?
I can handle myself.
I know you can, that's why I'm offering.
And now we're going to Sarah with some Star Wars video games.
Star Wars Day means we take a look back into some video games from a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Hey everyone, it's Sarah with a look into the Star Wars saga and some video games that it produced. LEGO nailed it again with your favorite heroes following the Rebel Alliance to take down the Galactic Empire and essentially rebuild the galaxy in LEGO Star Wars 2, the original trilogy. Build and enhance ships, create your own characters, and enjoy the benefits of an improved two-player camera as your nostalgia salivates and your smile never leaves your face in this family-friendly and fun game. LEGO Star Wars 2, the original trilogy, was released in 2006 and is still one of my favorites for the PS2. Grab a copy on eBay and dust off your old console or PC. One of my absolutely 100% replayed games of all of my lifetime, excluding Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, is Star Wars Battlefront, both 1 and 2. Borrowing most of its inspiration from the Battlefield series, this multiplayer game allows gamers to be on their own team or face off head to Chewbacca in epic combat. Galactic Conquest was always my favorite, rivaling only for me the fun of multiplayer GoldenEye. Even playing as a team, comparing stats and kills is always worth a high five. This game will take you back to the Xbox 360 and PS2, so dust those old consoles off once again. Star Wars: The Old Republic was created by the famed BioWare team and is the first true Star Wars MMO to hit gamers. First released in 2011 for PC gamers only, gamers choose from 8 different classes which have 8 different 3-part storylines that progress throughout the game. This game is still available and millions of people are still actively playing. Having a rumored 1 million subscribers in the first 3 days of its launch, this game, though not incredibly beautiful in graphics, is a favorite of many online PC gamers. Another Star Wars game that I didn't mention in this episode is Star Wars Battlefront, released in 2015. Even though it was beautifully designed and a lot of fun to play, unfortunately the developers decided not to add in a Galactic Conquest feature to this game. The Galactic Conquest feature was one of the reasons why most of the gamers really loved Battlefront 1 and 2. But we'll be back next week with more. Thanks, gamers.
Thank you, Sarah. Well, that takes care of the first part of the show.
We're gonna go to a short break, but...
Accent.
And we'll be back with more comics, beer, and sci-fi.
Jill, I want to take a moment and acknowledge our sponsors at Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech has successfully taught HVAC technicians since 1979, and HVAC is all they do. They offer hands-on training and have 4 national certifications.
They offer field experience instructors. They have convenient schedule options.
They're centrally located in Southfield, and they have 9 classrooms, and it's a family-owned school. You know, best of all, the program is only 10.5 months long, so students can enter the workforce in less than a year.
For more information, go to northwesterntech.edu.
Here at Perrin, no problems is more than just a beer. It's the way we brew, and it's our way of life.
My name is Brian Bastow. Most people know me as Boomer. I'm the Quality Assurance, Quality Control Director here at Perrin. To make beer that people like, you need to have both art and science. The science is critical to developing consistently high-quality beer. It's not about how fast you get there or what's on the other side. It's just about the climb.
No Problems 15-pack available in stores now.
Fifth Avenue in Royal Oak is your favorite club destination and holiday party headquarters. Fifth Avenue's private second floor is perfect for banquets, concerts, reunions, or corporate events. Complete with multiple seating arrangements, stage, state-of-the-art audio-visual, pool, catered food and beverage packages with the best service in Metro Detroit. We can create a custom plan to fit your budget. Give your employees and guests the experience they deserve and book your event at Fifth Avenue in Royal Oak.
Welcome back to Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi. We're going to send it over to Rob now of GOB Retail, Michigan's largest game and comic book dealer, and he's going to talk about Star Wars comic books.
Hi, I'm Rob from GOB Retail, here with Chris from Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi, and we're talking Star Wars.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, Casey.
Force wasn't strong with that one.
Evidently not. So, we're talking Star Wars, as you obviously know. The Force Awakens. Right?
Excellent movie.
We've got the graphic novel coming out. You know, it's a different experience. It goes a little more in depth about Poe Dameron because it can tie into his mini-series. It's all the things you loved from the movie.
A mixture of old characters with some of the new characters. Han Solo and Princess Leia reunites, but of course, when a man reunites with a woman, sometimes he dies.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, just ask Chris.
Next up, I've got Dr. Aphra. She is an original creation from the Darth Vader line of comics.
Yes.
Very different character, almost like a sort of Indiana Jones.
Tomb Raider.
Yep, absolutely.
Lara Croft type of Star Wars character.
Archaeologist, used to work with and for Vader, invented these 2 homicidal droids that help her out, both funny and terrifying at the same time.
Now she has her own storyline. Now this is her book series, and I think it ought to be pretty good to see what the Star Wars Tomb Raider version does.
Yeah, so far I've liked everything Marvel's done with the Star Wars comics.
Well, not to mention it's Kev Walker that's the artist on this. And if you're a fan of his, you're familiar with some of his earlier work with Marvel Zombies, and he also did a lot of work with the Avengers, Judge Dredd.
Definitely give this one a look. All right, Casey, I wanted to bring up a few more Star Wars series. They've been doing a lot of good stuff.
Can never get enough of Star Wars.
So we've got, of course, here, that's volume 2 of the Darth Vader series. I can't suggest this one enough. The main story is all about Vader after the first Death Star's destruction. He's got to prove himself again to the Emperor. So this is Kanan, the last Padawan, pretty much one of the few Jedi to survive Order 66, right? You know, he's one of the main characters in Star Wars Rebels, leading his ragtag group against Darth Vader. This story directly ties in. You've got a number of the characters from the series there. Whether you're an adult or a kid and you enjoy the show, this comic is a great tie-in and just a great read. All right, I'm Rob from GOB.
And I'm Casey from Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi, and Chris down there somewhere.
Thanks for joining us.
Great job, Rob. Now let's send it over to Joe who talk with Michigan's best droid builder.
Thanks, guys. I'm Joe Johnson, and I have a very special guest here with me, Kurt Zimmerman, droid builder extraordinaire. And we have a celebrity with us here today. R2-D2 is joining us. What a beautiful droid you have here. Can you tell us a little bit about what went into making R2?
Well, this is actually a pretty simple R2. He has the aluminum dome, which everyone expects to see on R2-D2, but from the neck down, he's mostly wood and plastic. The legs, feet, and the frame are all plywood. The body is plastic wrapped around, and most of our fittings are cast resin on this one.
His arms are functioning. Can you demonstrate that?
Yeah, he likes to wave at kids when he meets them. We do school and hospital visits, and R2 never knows when to shut up, so he just rambles on here.
He does seem to be a little desperate for attention, right, R2? So then in December of 2015, everyone goes nuts. Star Wars fans goes nuts when they release Star Wars The Force Awakens. And even though we do see R2-D2 in that movie, we are introduced to a new droid that's unlike anything we've ever seen. And a lot of people thought it was a CGI creation, and it wasn't, or at least for the most part. Tell us about how this is a real-world functioning droid.
Well, this is the actual size of the BB-8s they used in the movie. The one that I built first was built before the movie came out. We didn't know exactly what he looked like or exactly what his size was, but I get a lot of people that costume as the characters from The Force Awakens, and they just love getting their picture taken with him.
So we all grew up with the movies, and it's become part of our childhood, part of our life growing up. But there always seems to be something new to bring a new generation of fans in, and one of those things that's been introduced by Lucasfilm is Star Wars Rebels. And one of the main characters on Star Wars Rebels is Chopper, which only exists as a CGI droid on television, but Kurt, you've turned him into a real-world working droid. What inspired you to create a real-world Chopper?
Well, the show itself is quite a popular show, and some of the kids really identify with this one, where sometimes the older generation identifies more with the R2-D2. So this was one that seemed like a little more of a challenge to build. There was nothing available out there, so it was kind of a scratch building challenge to do this one.
Kurt has come up with his own unique creation. Introduce us to your friend here.
Well, this is R2 Deco. He kind of harkens back to the 40s and 50s, and he's got lots of chrome like the cars had back then, and a lot of people think he looks like a vacuum cleaner. Some think he looks like a refrigerator out of the 50s, and I think he just looks like a droid that maybe has lost his way.
So Kurt, you probably hear this from a lot of people, but seeing all these droids here today makes me feel like a 10-year-old kid. Is that what you hear from a lot of people?
I do, yeah. It's just part of the childhood that you don't want to let go of. And why? I mean, why let go of it?
That's terrific. Well, thank you so much for showing me around and introducing me to your friends. And thank you for watching. I'm Joe Johnson. We'll see you next time on Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi.
Thank you, Joe. And remember, droid's no match for a good blaster at your side. We'll be right back.
Hey, welcome to Able Ideas.
Where ideas come to life.
Come on in.
Here at Able Ideas in Detroit, we bring ideas to life. Whether it's a logo, a design, or a full-blown graphic novel, we have an experienced staff of artists, writers, models, and photographers ready to make your dream a reality. So if you're ready to see your vision brought to life, go to ableideas.com.
You see over there? That proves my point perfectly. That's what girls are looking for these days. The loud, obnoxious party boy. But over there, that's what women are looking for. The strong, confident guy with a career.
So what you're saying is girls like $80,000 worth of beer-soaked debt, and smart women appreciate a hardworking, skilled tradesman?
Exactly.
Fact. Heating and cooling tradesmen are in demand. Go to Northwestern Tech and become an HVAC tradesman in 10.5 months.
Here at Perrin, no problems is more than just a beer. It's the way we brew, and it's our way of life.
Hello, I'm Bill, and I'm the lead brewer here at Perrin Brewing Company. I love Perrin because of the crew that we have. We make some kick-ass beers. spending time with family to escape to where there's no TVs and no phone service. It's relaxing and it's my happy place.
No Problems 15-pack available in stores now.
Welcome back to Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi. Now we're going to Nick, who interviewed Star Wars actor Garrickhagen.
And I am here with Garrickhagen, who all Star Wars fans will know as Luke Skywalker's older brother, best friend figure from the original Star Wars in 1977, the character's Biggs Darklighter. Sir, tell us, how was that experience working on that film?
Well, working with Mark was terrific. He was, and still is, a lovely guy and a very clever actor. And all our little scenes together on Tatooine and back in London were a joy, I got to say. And Mark remains a very giving, clever, fast actor, and it kind of gives you inspiration.
Okay, and I know it's probably a painful subject, but how did it feel when those early scenes in the film were cut out originally?
Well, I mean, of course, you want to be there more. The more you're on screen, the better it is, and also it tells a nice story of the back life of Luke on Tatooine. And, you know, of course we miss it because we know it's there and it's not visible. But in fact, there should be an Anchorhead fan club because so many people have come up to me here and elsewhere asking why is the scene cut and why can't we see it? And I say, look, you can see it if you want to, and they love it. I haven't had anybody come up and say it's a terrible scene. I'm glad it was cut. You know.
The Blu-ray or the one of the DVD releases the scene toward the end of the film when the hangar was restored, and then the beginning of the early scene in the film on Tatooine we can see as one of the deleted scenes in the Blu-ray release. How did it feel to look at that footage again after all these years?
I think they've improved the quality of it, and I think it looks very good. First, I love my costume in it, and I think it's one of the most romantic costumes any of the men wear in the series.
Are you blown away that Star Wars is stronger than ever 40 years later?
Absolutely. It's a great joy to be around as many fans, as many kind of very loving and kind and supportive fans. Certainly something we never envisaged when we were doing the picture. And it's taken most of us around the world, you know. I'm not a full-time signer, but I've had wonderful experiences from Japan all the way through Europe and into America. So I'm grateful. I think we all are.
Thank you so much, sir, for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Nick. Way to think Biggs. And now we're going to go to Shannon with our beer segment.
Hey, it's Shannon. Rogue One, a Star Wars story, has officially hit the box offices. So here are some beers to get you in touch with the film. For the release of Rogue One, I recommend a beer from Rogue in Oregon. And since there are plenty of casualties in the fight to steal the Death Star plans, let's start with their Dead Guy Ale. It's a take on the German Maibach that is widely distributed in the United States and around the world. This brew has a malty aroma and rich flavor that comes in at a reasonable 6.5% alcohol. We all know and love the Imperial March. Well, you can join the Empire by drinking an Imperial Stout. I recommend Imperial Stout by Arcadia Ales, which is black as midnight with flavor of coffee, bittersweet cocoa, black licorice, and hints of prune. It's 9% ABV and would pair perfectly with a piece of chocolate cake. I know Rogue One is all about the rebellion, but it also marks the return of Darth Vader, so I want to get in touch with my dark side. To do so, I recommend Dark Horse Reserve Special Black Ale. At 7.5% and 67 IBUs, this beer truly has a dark presence with malt's roastiness and chocolate. This black ale drinks like a porter and finishes like a stout. After drinking these beers, you'll feel like the Force is with you. Cheers!
Thanks, Shannon. Those look quite delicious. Nick, this is my favorite gadget. Now Brad's going to tell us about some of his.
Where did you get that?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Point that thing someplace else.
Hey, it's the Bradcast. It's gift-giving time. I've got some great ideas for some last-minute loot that you want to spread some holiday joy with. First item that everybody needs to have is an Occidental leather kit bag. These are made in America, they're super sturdy, and they're waterproof. I use them to keep track of all my loose stuff, all my cables, all my cords, all my loose wristbands. I mean, somebody says, hey, you got a plug in? Yeah, where is it? It's in my kit bag. Put them in your backpack. Keep everything straight. These are awesome. You gotta get some. The next item I want everybody to know about is the 10,000 milliamp hour charger. And I know what you're thinking. I can't find a plug. I forgot my charger for my car. My phone's dead, what do I do? Well, I'll tell you what you do. You take this, because it's in your kit bag, you take your cords and you plug it in. You wanna know? There's even a little LCD on here that tells you how much you got left. Can you share your energy? Sure, charge your phone, charge your girlfriend's phone. This thing will save your ass. I'm telling you, you need one. Best brand ever. I've got like a half dozen of these. This is the best one. I got one, my wife's got one. I bought even one for my brother-in-law. It's the best one out there. You really ought to get one. Okay, I've got the best thing that you can tell your mom or your grandma or your aunt what to give you for Christmas. You remember the last time you were holding your phone, it was out in the winter, you had your gloves on and you're poking the hell out of it and you can't touch it? Smart Touch gloves. I'm telling you, I've had 3 different pairs of these. It's a great gift, it's inexpensive, and you need them. You're gonna use them, you're gonna be thankful you got them because frostbite sucks. You're in a galaxy far, far away. You've been pacing the ship, anticipating, saving the world from the Death Star. How many steps have you taken? Have you met your 10,000 for the day? You don't know, do you? What you need is one of these little guys. It's real simple. It doesn't have a display. It's not gonna distract you. All you gotta do is put it on, if you can get it on, just like that. Fits, it's not tight, it's very nice. Tells you how many steps you've done. Has a beautiful application, works on your phone, connected with Bluetooth all day long. You never take it off. It tells you whether or not you had a good night's sleep. The software will coordinate with how much you've had to eat, tell you your calories. This thing even tells you how many calories you've burned sitting on your ass, working on your computer. Maybe next year at this time, this will make me skinny. Woohoo! Maybe that'll be a miracle, a Christmas miracle. How about that?
Thanks, Bradley. Now we're going to our final commercial break. But stay tuned, we'll be back with more comics, beer, and sci-fi.
Snap Camp is Metro Detroit's original Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealer, and we're still making the best deals every day.
During the Big Finish event, lease a Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo for just $259 a month, or a Ram Crew Cab 4x4 as low as $178 a month for 24 months.
Sales service and a superior buying experience. That's Snap Camp on Telegraph Road in Redford.
Snap Camp, Metro Detroit's original. Snap Camp, Snap Camp.
I want a career in robotics and automation, so I chose Lawrence Tech for its first in Michigan robotics engineering program. LTU's brand new STEM complex has a robotics lab where we can design, build, and program robots in a creative atmosphere. And the best thing is, I haven't graduated yet, but I already have a job in my field. I know I made the right choice for my career. Lawrence Tech, possible is everything.
Welcome back to Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi, everybody. We're going to send it over to Q now, who's going to talk about the various incarnations of Star Wars on television.
This is the Q from Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi, and to celebrate the release of Rogue One, I'm here to talk about some of the best Star Wars TV shows. So, you got the worst of the worst, honestly, the holiday special. You got Carrie Fisher singing. The whole plot is about Chewbacca getting home for some kind of mystical thingy or whatever you want to call it, and Luke Skywalker looks like a chick. But honestly, the best part of that is the animated sequence with Boba Fett. That was the first appearance of Boba Fett. And speaking of animation, we'll go to Star Wars The Clone Wars, which is actually a pretty good cartoon. It takes place between 2 and 3, and it focuses a lot on Anakin Skywalker and his Padawan. Then we'll go to Rebels, which takes place between 4 and 5. I guess you could say they do good in animation.
It cannot be unknown.
Your anger gives you strength.
I will pull the rebels apart piece by piece.
I must become more powerful.
They'll be the architects of their own destruction.
Then we got some of the spoofs from Star Wars, Family Guy and Robot Chicken. Personally, I prefer the Robot Chicken one myself. I can always watch it every time a new Star Wars comes out.
Star Wars Episode 7, shot in IMAX and 3D and starring me as Luke Skywalker's favorite son who gets the best stuff like lightsabers made of gold and finally has sex.
This has been the Q from Comics Beer and Sci-Fi.
Thanks, Q. Now we're going to that hairy beast Richie with this week's home video releases.
That's right, pal. We're here to talk about this week's latest home video release.
Hang on a minute here. This is my segment, I Fly Solo.
Okay, fine. I know it's the first season. You want to win Wookiee of the Year, so I'll let you have it.
Take off, Nerf Herder. Well, here is this week's home video releases. There are a lot of fun movies to watch at home over the holidays, including The Magnificent Seven, remake of a remake starring Denzel Washington, Chris Pratt, and Ethan Hawke. If you love westerns like I do, then this needs to be at the top of your home viewing list.
How'd we do? I think we killed them all.
Next up is the critically acclaimed zombie horror film, Train to Busan, which is South Korea's most successful movie of all time. This socially conscious gorefest is a true must-see and is now available on streaming services including iTunes and Amazon. Reviews are mixed on the sci-fi horror film Morgan, but we're going to recommend this one based on the interesting premise. The title character is an AI-human hybrid that grows tired of being a science experiment. It also has a great ensemble cast, so science fiction lovers should definitely rent this one.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm starting to feel like myself.
Let's lighten the mood a bit with the animated film Storks, which features the voices of Andy Samberg and Jennifer Aniston. This zany slapstick comedy will make a great stocking stuffer for the little ones and will help pass the time over the Christmas break.
Are you in love? I am in love. Are you in love? I'm in love too. I agree.
Finally, we have the cult movie Dreamscape from 1984. Dennis Quaid plays a psychic who can go into dreams of others with the help of Max von Sydow. This deluxe Blu-ray has a new 2K transfer and tons of bonus features.
It's a dream, Alex. You can do anything you want in here.
Well, that's it for this week. We'll see you next time.
Well, that does it for another episode of Comics Beer and Sci-Fi. Thank you everyone for watching, and thank you to our sponsors at Northwestern Tech.
I've been thinking of taking another co-host on, someone who appreciates the show like Chewie and me.
Are you offering me a job?
Yeah, but you gotta lose that bad British accent.
What's wrong with my accent? You don't like how I'm talking? Do you not think I'm doing a good job? Do you think that you could do better, co-host
We'll
Nick?
see you next time.
Yes, you do a better accent, Nick.